President Donald Trump's July 14, 2025 announcement marks one of the most significant escalations in U.S.-led military support for Ukraine since the start of the full-scale Russian invasion in 2022. In a high-profile press event at the White House with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Trump confirmed that a new round of advanced U.S.-made Patriot air defense systems and interceptors will be delivered to Ukraine in the coming days and weeks, at a time when the country is facing unprecedented missile and drone attacks from Russia. What makes this support package different is its financing and structure. The systems will not be directly funded by U.S. taxpayers. Instead, NATO allies in Europe will pay for the Patriots, either purchasing them from U.S. defense contractors or offering up their own systems for immediate delivery to Ukraine, which will then be backfilled by newly manufactured U.S. units. According to Trump, this arrangement ensures that Ukraine receives the help it needs urgently, while U.S. military readiness remains protected and American industry benefits from new contracts. The strategic goal is twofold: to urgently enhance Ukraine's air defense umbrella to protect key infrastructure and population centers, and to show that NATO nations can act in unison under American leadership without waiting for prolonged legislative processes or budget authorizations. Trump emphasized that this was a deal struck through diplomacy and defense coordination rather than unilateral action, and that U.S. production capacity would be used efficiently to replace equipment sent by allies. Germany plays a central role in this plan. Having already delivered 3 Patriot batteries to Ukraine and lent 2 more to Poland, Germany only has 6 remaining batteries in its inventory. Despite this, Berlin will provide additional systems to Ukraine, with the understanding that new U.S.-made replacements will be delivered to Germany in return. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius has publicly acknowledged the tight constraints on Germany's own Patriot supply, stating that the country cannot afford to give away more units permanently, but that it is willing to temporarily reduce its stockpile in order to accelerate Ukraine's defense buildup. Germany's participation highlights how frontline NATO nations are now prioritizing collective European defense over strictly national inventories. While President Trump did not name the country he referred to as having 17 Patriot batteries getting ready to be shipped, defense analysts suggest this could involve decommissioned Israeli systems. Past reports have indicated that Israel retired at least 12 Patriot batteries and a large number of PAC-2 missiles in recent years. There has been persistent speculation that the U.S. quietly acquired these systems for possible transfer to Ukraine, and this week's announcement may have confirmed that arrangement indirectly. If confirmed, the repurposing of these systems would offer Ukraine a critical supply of interceptors that, while older, are still effective against a variety of aerial threats. The decision to expand the Patriot program comes at a pivotal time for Ukraine. According to multiple independent military assessments, Russia has escalated its missile and drone attacks dramatically since early 2025. A recent attack launched more than 700 one-way drones in a single wave, Ukraine's largest aerial bombardment since the start of the war. Many of these systems were launched from Russian territory far beyond the front lines, targeting civilian and energy infrastructure with the apparent goal of overwhelming Ukraine's limited air defense network. While Ukraine's Soviet-era air defense systems are still in use, only Western platforms like the Patriot are capable of reliably intercepting high-speed ballistic missiles, such as those Russia continues to use to target Kyiv, Kharkiv, and other major cities. Patriot interceptors, especially the modern PAC-3 MSE variant, have proven themselves in combat by downing both missiles and Russian military aircraft. In one confirmed incident, a Patriot system shot down a Russian A-50 airborne early warning and control aircraft, representing a major blow to Russian battlefield awareness and coordination. The high cost and limited availability of these systems have long been a concern for Western militaries. Each PAC-3 MSE missile costs around $4 million. They are highly complex systems with long production timelines, requiring advanced components and extensive testing. In response to these challenges, the U.S. Army has announced a major expansion in its procurement plans. According to the Army's fiscal year 2026 budget justification, it is increasing its acquisition objective from roughly 3,300 interceptors to nearly 13,800. This move is not just about Ukraine. It also reflects growing concern about U.S. and allied defense capabilities in the face of evolving threats from state actors. The U.S. Army also revealed plans to grow its Patriot missile force by 25%, recognizing that the current force size is stretched thin between Middle East deployments, homeland defense, and allied support missions. In multiple recent conflicts and crises, including attacks on U.S. bases in the Middle East, there were not enough Patriot units to cover all vulnerable sites. The expansion is aimed at resolving that issue over the next several years, while continuing to meet urgent needs such as Ukraine's. In his comments, Trump framed the Patriot deal as a victory for both American security and industry. "We make the best equipment in the world," he told reporters. "European nations know that. That's why they're coming to us to get more Patriots, and we're making sure Ukraine gets what it needs, fast, while our military stays strong and ready." This approach reflects a key theme of Trump's foreign policy, maximizing allied contributions while preserving U.S. strength. NATO Secretary General Rutte supported this framing, stating that this was only the beginning of a broader plan. Future support will likely include more air defense systems, munitions, and advanced weapons as Ukraine continues to resist Russian aggression. Rutte also noted that the United States, despite managing its own stockpile challenges, is central to coordinating and enabling this level of allied military support. He highlighted discussions held earlier in the day with U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth about how to manage logistics and sustain the supply flow without compromising U.S. force readiness. Trump also addressed economic pressure on Russia, declaring that if no peace deal is reached within 50 days, his administration will implement new sanctions and tariffs aimed at undermining Russia's war economy. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick later clarified that these measures would include secondary sanctions, targeting any third-party companies doing business with sanctioned Russian entities. These financial measures, combined with the increased flow of advanced weapons to Ukraine, are designed to change the strategic calculus in Moscow. There is also growing speculation that the U.S. may provide long-range strike systems to Ukraine. Media outlets, including Axios, have reported that Ukraine could receive missiles capable of hitting deep inside Russian territory, including potentially Moscow. While not confirmed during the press conference, possible candidates include the AGM-158 Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Missile (JASSM) and the Precision Strike Missile (PRSM). The integration of JASSM with Ukraine's incoming F-16s would provide a significant leap in strike capability, although it remains unclear if the political decision has been made to authorize such transfers. As it stands, Ukraine is set to receive a much-needed reinforcement of air defense capability at a critical moment in the conflict. The Patriot transfers represent not just a tactical boost, but a demonstration of continued U.S. and allied resolve. While questions remain about the sustainability of these shipments over the long term, especially given global demand and production constraints, the current momentum underscores that the U.S. remains committed to Ukrainian defense, and is leveraging NATO partnerships to expand that support without overburdening American forces or finances. Ultimately, this marks a major moment in the war, one that demonstrates Washington's capacity to lead, coordinate, and deliver results, even under pressure. As production ramps up and allies lean in, the immediate result will be a stronger Ukrainian air shield and a clearer message to Russia: Western support for Ukraine is not just continuing, it is accelerating.